for the building of the new Somalia. This had happened in our city in this month and this time, and the weather has been very grateful to us. We had all kinds of great people come, and truly it was a sign of the new Somalia. Great things to happen, a beautiful and prosperous future, and where we are heading as a people within our country, but also as an ethnic group, the Somali ethnic group, to reclaim our narrative, but also rebuild what was once an amazingly beautiful place.
In the West and volunteer for this fledgling transitional government.
I think the most important message was a message of defiance from thousands of young Somalis who said and sent a powerful message to the terrorists is that although they can kill and maim and injure, they cannot stop from them of celebrating one of the most beautiful things that humans do, which is to write and read.
Book reading or whatever else he wishes to share with us.
In Somalia, too often we just focus on the negative things, the real difficulties in the politics, the security problems, and there are some terrible stories that we have, some of the humanitarian problems that we're trying to deal with as well. And that moment gave me something completely different, and it gave me a real insight into Somali culture and the depth and the breadth of it. It showed me how much of an appetite for literacy and literature there was in Somalia, and it gave something really hopeful.
What's important is that this book will reach millions of people, and it will be available in millions of libraries. And people that never read anything about Somalia will read it. So that is very important for Somalis and for the city of Muqdisho.
It's events like these that give a whole nation, a people, a culture, as Dr. Warsame graciously took us through, of entire people aspirations for what they want to be in the future. What is the future of the Somali people? It's events like these that give them those aspirations to define that and to make it happen.
All those years later, I can sense two teenage boys, Tarzan and Gabio, closing a chapter. Life had become more complicated and more disappointing. And he apparently, well, there are two versions, but I believe yours, he criticized Oscar Robertson, this hugely experienced, globally famous basketball player.
What I've tried to do is to write a book that is not a niche book. It's not for people who know Somalia or care about Somalia. It's an odyssey. It's, I think, a story that a lot of people can identify with, I hope, at a time when so many people are talking about migration, about families on the move, about how to put collapsed states back together or prevent states from collapsing. Here's one family's journey over many decades through the ups and the downs and then the ups again of one country.